What's up, everyone? Welcome to the February 16th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, you get one free month of Awesemo plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. Be sure to use the code Awesemo to receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100. Today, we're going to take a look at 5 of the top tournament options on FanDuel. Keep in mind that we have a massive 11-game slate tonight. There are a lot of moving parts. A few players are going to be ruled out between now and lock, probably a couple more after lock. So be sure to tune into the deeper dive and live before lock from 4:45 Eastern up until tip, and you'll get more up-to-date information then. But for now, we're going to take a look at 5 of the top tournament options as things currently stand. Starting at number 5, Keldon Johnson is $5,800. He has small forward and power forward eligibility tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Johnson's likely to give you 32 to 34 minutes. He's averaged 0.86 FanDuel points per minute this season. He's only projected for 4% ownership with a 10% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's not a particularly exciting play, but he is someone that can help you get a decent mid-range value into your lineup at low ownership. Number 4, Stephen Curry is $9,700, point guard only eligible, which makes it tough to really prioritize him given that there is a lot of opportunity cost at the position tonight. But it also keeps his ownership in check. He's only projected for 8% ownership. He has a 10% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Curry's averaged 1.27 FanDuel points per minute and 35.4 minutes per game in the games that he's played with Klay Thompson active so far this season. He's always somewhat risky to roster because he doesn't contribute a ton of peripherals. He gets some assists and some rebounds, but not on the same level as a lot of other players in his price range. But you get a massive ceiling still because Curry is just such a capable scorer. It's always at least somewhat appealing to get to him at sub 10% ownership. Number 3, Clint Capella, $6,300 center, projected for about 11% ownership with a 12% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Capella has averaged 1.17 FanDuel points per minute this season. John Collins is out once again for the Hawks tonight. In the 2 previous games where Collins has been out, Capella has played between 30 and 32 minutes. He was awful in a difficult matchup last night against the Cavaliers, but he still got substantial playing time, and he has a much more friendly matchup tonight against the Orlando Magic. Capella looks like a very high upside option, and you should go right back to him. He's not getting that much ownership tonight on FanDuel as things currently stand. Number 2, Tyrese Halliburton, $9,300. Taking on the Washington Wizards, he has point guard and shooting guard eligibility, so you can get him into a couple of extra roster spots. He's only projected for 5% ownership with a 14% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Halliburton has averaged 1.16 FanDuel points per minute in the 3 games that he's played since coming to Indiana. His rates are in line with what he was doing with the Kings whenever De'Aaron Fox was out, and essentially that's the same thing that we have in Indiana with Malcolm Brogdon out. So right now, Halliburton, while he is somewhat expensive at 8,400 and there are plenty of alternatives, he does look like he's going overlooked a bit. And number 1, Chris Paul, $9,400, projected for 16% ownership with a 20% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Paul has averaged 35.2 minutes per game in the games he's played without Cameron Payne. He's averaged 1.23 FanDuel points per minute in the games that he's played with Devin Booker this season. There is a lot of blowout risk in this game for Phoenix. They're 15-point favorites at home. Houston also just had several players downgraded to questionable with illnesses. I don't know what to make of that, but there's a pretty good chance Phoenix absolutely torches Houston tonight. But the thing to keep in mind is that Paul's averaging 35 minutes per game without Payne, and that includes a lot of blowouts because Phoenix is really good and they blow out teams pretty frequently. If this game actually came down to the wire, there's a good chance you'd be getting 38 or 39 minutes from Paul. So expecting him to play into the mid-30s is still reasonable here, and it's a very good matchup against the Rockets where Paul is likely to produce at an above-average rate. So to recap the top 5 tournament options on FanDuel, number 5, Keldon Johnson. Number 4, Stephen Curry. Number 3, Clint Capella. Number 2, Tyrese Halliburton. And number 1, Chris Paul.